I'm out here working on plugs for a little bit here. Gonna make some the brass ends, and then I'm gonna clip a wire and a piano wire and solder together, and we're gonna put one together. Put the electrode in one. And I was gonna video it. So what I'm doing is I'm on lathe here. Let's see if I can get you situated. Got a piece of brass in here, and I've got the 20 thou part off tool here, and I want them 165 thousandths long, so I'm going to touch off on the end. If you can see, I'm trying to move you around here so I can get at the controls here. Alright, so I got a travel indicator or travel all over there, so I'm gonna move it to 20 thou, and then I'm going to go to 100, and I'm going to check my numbers here just to make sure I'm doing it right. Yeah, I want about 130 to 140, so there's 100, 10, 20, 30, there's 40. And I'm just going to go in with that part off, or that grooving tool, and just make a mark. That just kind of shows me what I want. Now I'll put a turning tool in there. I'm going to turn the diameter down to about 100 thou. Touch. That's 1/8 inch material, so I got to take 25 thou. Okay. Now I'm going to take and cut. I think it's included. I think I got about an included 140, 150. I'm not exactly sure what the angle is on the tool. It's just a groove around the brass clip, so that brass end, so that a clip can actually click onto it. And I'm going to go part way out in the middle of it. And just put that little undercut on it. So now I want to center drill that. So I'm going to put a center drill in. It's a small center drill in my tailstock here. And let's back this out. And I'm just gonna put a little center drill mark on the end of it. And then I'm gonna take my drill chuck out, and then I'm gonna put my high speed in there. And I got my high speed set up over here, and I'm using my power box. My battery did not last very long, so I've got it set up here for 8.3 volts, and I had to flip the wires around because the snap that I have on there is, it would be the opposite. So to get the motor to spin the right way. But anyway, that's what I'm going to use. That's what I've been using here for drilling. And it's worked out pretty darn good, really. If it'll focus on it. Come on. This looks fuzzy to me in the viewfinder here. Okay. So I'll stick that in my tailstock. Okay. And I'll get the drill up on that center point and start drilling. Oh, got to turn the power box on over here. One. It's only a 22 thousandths drill. 22 and a half. I think that's plenty far enough. Okay, so we got the hole drilled. Now we'll part it off and put that little grooving tool back in. It's only a 20 thou wide grooving tool. And I got to back you up a little bit because I can't turn my handles. Okay. And we'll get up there and see what we got. The lengths of these is really not critical or anything. It's just that it's purely the looks of it. All right. And spin it on. And hold on to it a little bit so I don't lose it. There it is. And there it is. Now we'll take and clip a wire. Need to back up, but but we'll clip a wire and we'll solder a wire into that. I'm going to pause here and go and get the soldering iron plugged in and heat it up and get ready to clip the wire. Okay, I'm sitting over at the bench here. This is the little end we soldered up, or turned up solder. I haven't got to the soldering yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the wire through it, and there's the little tab on the end from parting it off. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little, a little tit on there, and I'm just going to take a stone that off, stone it flat. This isn't anything critical because it's going to be up on the top. It's going to be toward the outside of the plug. Okay. Wire goes through it okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an old insulator, a bad one that isn't any good. Oh, I had another one laying here. I gotta figure out where I laid it. All right, here it is. This is the one I kind of used for soldering. And what I do is I put the wire through that, and then put the top on it, but before I put it through there, I put a little flux on the end of it. Get a little taste of flux. And then stick the wire through there. So it's just poking through. We'll adjust that after I get it clamped up here. And then I clamp it in my little helper hands here, and then I pull the wire down until it's about flush with the brass, maybe just a little bit below. If you can see that, let me get you down a little bit. Trying to adjust it here. Okay. right. Anyway, I've got it clamped up. The wire is just about flush. Soldering iron should be hot. And we'll give it a little taste of solder on the end of it here. There we go. Wait for it to cool. Should be cooled by now. And then we just take that out. Take that insulator that I'm using for that out. And then I have another insulator here that's the OD, or the outside diameters were too big. So I've been using that just for a guide for cutting the wire. But because the lengths are fine. So I just slide it in there so that it's up against. Take my clippers, my side clippers here, and slide it up against that and clip it off. Now when you clip it, you're going to leave an ugly end on it, you know, so I take the stone and just kind of touch up the end a little bit. So there we go. Now I'll get one of the plugs over here that we swaged together. And let's slide that. I'm not putting any glue on it yet. I'm just going to slide it in there for a fit check. And if you look in the end, it's just barely protruding beyond the electrode insulator, and that's exactly what we want. I notice that solder has dribbled through the back side, so it sticks up a little bit. So what I do to solve that is I take a little drill by hand and I go on the other side here and I just countersink or just counterbore a little bit. Basically it's just a little countersink until this fits down flush. It should fit flush now. It does. So now we'll take and put some glue on that. And I just got super glue here. And I put a few drops up and down the piano wire. This one feels a little loose. Like the hole might have oversized. But it should hold it there anyway. It should set up and hold it. Alright. Now let's just check it and see, make sure that it works. We'll clamp it in here. I have a TM6 unit over here on my bench. That I soldered together with one of those high voltage pulse generator in it, just to see if it'll make sure that that plug works. I'm going to lay something on this Hall effect sensors to keep it from moving around so much. And get that out. Alright, and then hook the ground up to my helping hands here. Hook the hot wire, or the output wire. Come on, got the wires all tangled up over here. Oops. Should have had this all set up, I know. Alright, so it's getting its ground through the helping hands now, so we'll just hook that onto the electrode. And we need some power to the power wires. So I gotta go get my unit over here that's on my drill now. Take it off my drill. I should solder up or fix up another one of these. I use it a lot. I like it. It works good for testing stuff on the bench, and I got lots of different voltages that I can use. And I'm going to set it for, I got to set it for 3 volts. So I need 6 and 1. 6, no 3.2, actually 6 and 2. 6 is the, all right. That'll be putting out 3 volts. So now we'll take and hook the positive wire up to my unit here. And hook the negative wire up. Whoops, I got that backwards. The negative wire up over here. And then the positive wire. And we need a magnet. Magnet's on my, there's a magnet on the end of my on the end of my X-Acto knife. Alright. Should be able to make it fire. Oh, turn the power on to the box. Let's turn this magnet around. Right. Okay, something somewhere is touching where it shouldn't. I did have that at 3 volts, I hope. 6 and 1. 6 and 2. 6 and 2. That's where I'm at. Looks like it's lost its power. Oh, you know what? These Hall sensors in these holders, just in these holders sometimes. Yeah, that's what it was. If you can see that or not. Oh yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit. But yeah, that plug is it's a good firing plug. So that's kind of it for the plugs. That's when you get to this step. The only thing left would be the brass sealant sleeves, which I just turn up a little piece of stock and drill and then part off washers, little brass washers for sealing. So anyway, that's gonna conclude the plug making. Let's see if we can get you a zoom up of the final. If it'll focus or not. I don't know if it's focusing, but there it is. And like I say, I've got a dozen of them that I'm making up. And I really don't need a dozen, but I've gone through a few of these, breaking them, and I like to have some on hand so I don't have to, you know, if I'm set up to make them. And plus doing the lathe, some of the lathe work on my mill, it definitely works out handy. So I have to keep that in mind, do that more often when I'm making multiple parts. I mean, it doesn't pay if you're only going to do one, but if you're going to do anywhere from 5 to a dozen, or 6, 7, 8, or whatever, and you want them all the same, they came out on that, doing them on that mill, every one of them almost identical. So, and if I were to do that on a lathe open setup, yeah, if I was real careful, I'll get them really close. But on the mill, I pushed the button and go. I didn't have to be careful of anything. So, but that's cheating. Really, it is. It's cheating. But you know, I know how to single point. I didn't single point any of these. I did them with a die. But I mean, if I had to, I could single point one. But if I got a whole bunch to do, I'm not going to sit down and single point that size thread that many times. So I cheat, because to me, running a die over something, if you're only making one, running a die over it is cheating. I mean, a die is really meant for cleaning up threads or repairing threads. They were really never meant for, you know, cutting a thread. They're meant for cleaning them up and straightening them out. But I know there's people out there that are going to disagree with that. But I like on Harding lathe. I don't know how many of you have ever ran a Harding lathe, but their single pointing capability is awesome, and I loved to single point. Now with my lathe, it's not as nice single pointing, but if you get it down, it's not that bad. I don't mind single pointing down to I'd say about this size, number 8. Anything smaller than that, oh yeah, my eyes aren't good enough to, without a magnifying glass, and I just can't do it anymore. I might have back in the day, but not anymore. So, but anyway, thanks for sticking with me and following along with the spark plugs. We got them from start to finish. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. I don't know what my next project will be. I'm gonna finish up these plugs and I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure something will pop up that I want to do that, and I'll go ahead and make something. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.